Welcome back to ciLiving. The University of Illinois Extension is supporting our environment and our community through a variety of educational programs. Joining me today to teach you about the different types of native fungi in our area is Karla. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
All right, so let's just jump right into what we have here in front of us. So let's start with this log and go around the table.
Yeah, so this log is dead, and on it we actually have a couple different things. We have lichen here, which is actually the combination of a fungus and an algae. So it's like a relationship, a mutualism. The algae is making food for the fungus, and the fungus is helping the algae like stay on here. That's like, together they have both home, food, they have everything they need.
Interesting.
Next to it is moss, and I kind of want to make that distinction that lichen and moss are two very different things. Moss is a very small plant, and then the lichen is this like plant plus fungus combination. So it's a little bit different. They lead very different lives.
And is that the reason that this log is now dead, because of like the parasite, or is it just coincident and the lichen and moss being on here doesn't really affect the tree?
Yeah, so the moss is just looking for water, trying to like gain access to water. And the lichen is also just kind of there because it's found a spot where it's going to get sunlight, which the algae needs to photosynthesize, and it's just a great place to hang out, but it has nothing to do with the death of this log. This log was dead beforehand.
Gotcha. And then what about this one?
Yeah, so this I wanted to demonstrate. This white stuff here, that is the mycelium of funguses.
Cool.
We talk about mushrooms when we talk about funguses, but they're just the fruiting body of a much larger organism. So this is the mycelium, which is kind of working its way through this dead log, and it's eating away at it. That's what, funguses do in our ecosystems most of the time, is they're eating away at dead stuff, which is a really great ecosystem service.
And then mycelium is sort of the basis and foundation. It's like the brain, right? Doesn't it kind of like the plants are a lot smarter than just like a flower that would be in your garden. Like how does that work with the fungus?
It's like a network, and so some of them are really big, some of them are really small, but they work their way throughout the ground, throughout these like trees. Some of them are mutualists with plants, and so the plant actually needs these funguses to survive because it's helping it get water and nutrients from the soil. So funguses can be a really great benefit to our ecosystems.
And they can be a harm or a help depending on where they are and what they're feeding off of and things like that, right?
Right. I think most often we think of funguses as a parasite, as a bad thing, as a disease. Like we talk about diseased trees all the time. They have a fungus on them. But they can be anything. They can also be nothing, like this lichen. Really isn't doing harm or good.
Right. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And now this I was asking you about before. It's really hard and kind of looks like a plant, but also is clearly a mushroom, right?
Yeah. So this is, and you can kind of see it better on the other side.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So this is called a shelf mushroom, and it, you often see it in the forest on the side of a tree. It looks like a shelf. And then it's eating away at a dead log, and usually that tree is dead, and you'll see them kind of shelved up along the tree.
And is this one edible if it were alive? Okay, so non-edible mushroom. Right. But you said these, on the other hand, are edible, right?
Yep. These are oyster mushrooms, and I just found these yesterday. And I don't know, if you give them a smell, tell me what you think they smell like.
To me, they just smell like earth.
Okay.
What do
they have kind of a fishy smell.
Oh,
do you
sure.
get that? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Oyster mushrooms tend to smell kind of fishy, and that's one of their distinguishing factors.
Right. They taste delicious.
Yeah, right.
But they smell a little bit. And then what about these?
Those are turkey tail mushrooms. They are edible, but not very tasty. Some people make them into teas. But again, they're just eating away at a dead log because mushrooms, funguses need to eat.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, cool. And then what about these ones?
Those are also turkey tails. They can be very beautiful.
Oh, I see. So these have just sort of come off of the...
Yeah,
what's it called? Is it a colony, or what is the? Is there a term for when the mushrooms are all in a clump?
I think it's just one kind of organism, but it has several mushrooms.
I see. And then what about these on this side? These are kind of harder again.
Yeah, so those are white rot funguses, again, found on dead things out in the forest. They're eating away at it, and it's just another different species of those funguses.
And then what do we have on this log?
So this I thought was a really great example. You can see the mushrooms on the log, but then you can also see the mycelium spreading out.
Oh yeah, right
and
here.
So, yeah, when you see like a mushroom of any sort, there's actually a much larger part of it doing work.
Interesting. And so then that's basically how it continues to grow, or?
Yep, it does grow through this mycelial network. It's just kind of like these fine thread-like hairs that kind of go throughout the ecosystem.
Right. And then what about this? So this twig looks like it's almost covered completely on one side, and then the back looks fine. So what has this been covered in?
This is another mushroom, and you can kind of see it has like these little teeth, and that's how we know it's not a lichen like what's on this other log, because this will give out pores, and on the other side you can kind of see that there's like a top to the mushroom.
Awesome. And then what about this? Is this also mushroom on the outside of here?
Or this is another species of lichen.
Okay.
So this is just, and they can be all different colors. They can live in all different ecosystems because they're so hardy. But yep, that's just another lichen.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing all this information with us.
Anytime. Thank you.